Okay, last time I forgot to record this. Hello everybody. I'm back. Now I don't know if that is something you're happy about or something you're really sad about or something you're thinking to commit like now I can say that, but okay, something you think let's jump to the window about. But anyways, I'm here. Okay, so last video. I don't think the introduction at this point. I have a lot of like 8 videos now, but name is Mario. I'm from Croatia, and professionally I work as a software developer. And here basically I'm going to be serious about how will I implement specific features if this is my daily work. So basically, what I'm showing you here is how you will do it if you actually work as a developer. I won't do tutorials, but I'll try my best way to explain everything I'm doing. So let's get right through it. In the last video, I started a feature that will implement user avatar, and now I created the route controller, added for almost all validation rules for uploading avatar, and for now I'm using upload avatar on user repository because uploads are at the moment specific for users. As I remember in first video I told you that I'm going to basically do general implementation uploading files, so I'm gonna do that, which means I'm gonna migrate this from the user to something more general. Okay, but now let's finish this first. So, okay, user request now. As you can see, currently only uploading images, so rules now applied from files to images. And I added the specified MIME types that our image needs to basically its constraints that needs to satisfy. It needs to be JPEG or PNG, and can be larger than 2000 kilobytes, which is roughly 2 megabytes. And now I want to add a rule that will also basically, I'm not sure will this work in Laravel. I didn't try it in a long time. Use functions callbacks as rules, but I'll test. I'll see what I did wrong. If I do something wrong, then I'll just repeat it different way. Now we'll just add the rule that will constrain the image. That image needs to be in 1:1 ratio, because I want my avatars to be squared to fit all types of boxes that basically in CSS that expects to image to be squared, so I will allow only ratios of 1 to be uploaded. So let's get this. So if how I upload a file, which is value passed to this one, because request will upload a file as a value that's validated here, and I just need to get my I think it is called dimensions. I think let me check value to, let me check, yeah, these dimensions. So dimensions, this returns array, so I guess it should be, let me just do one sanity check. That shouldn't be there, but let me just do it. If okay, if I came from all day programming in Python, so if I forgot to make braces, so do equals instead of identical, you know why. If this is null, because basically let's just do sanity check and do fail. Dimensions not defined. Image needs to have dimensions. The image needs to have defined dimensions. This one won't happen, but it's just sanity check. And now I need to get x and epsilon, and if or width and height. I think there should be width and height. Dimensions of width. Okay, it says width and height, but I don't know is that correct or not. I mean, usually you will do height to width. So let me just do that. When you calculate the ratios. In this case is basically all the same, but you usually do width to height. Fail. Okay, I can do it like that with explanations. Okay, let's just check these dimensions. What will actually return? Get image size. Yeah. All right. So it's not basically. It's a shape, zero integer. Let me just check this. Get image size. I didn't use that in quite a while. I'm just gonna Google it. PHP. Let me check here, which is what? What's in A3? Okay, now let me see what's what. Where is the return? Here we go. 7 elements. Okay, user contains expected width and height. So 0 is width and 1 is height. So here I need to go 0 and 1 then. 0 is width, 1 is height, so this is going to be 1. This is going to be 0. Come on, let me just, no, come on. Select everything, thank you. Just check this one more time. It's just get image size, so it's basically image size. Okay, so this is basically it. If everything is satisfied, no exceptions. If this happens, exception. It is now my avatar validation. And for the controller, this validation will pass here. I get file avatar from the basically uploaded file here. I define file name, which avatars, which is gonna be indexed. I will call my avatars and SD, and then random number and current time, which is current timestamp. And here I got just guest extension. Again, I will just repeat, never use original stuff you get from the client for any type of uploads. You may save them if you need them, but never use them. Okay, same for display. So here I use transaction. First I'm gonna upload the avatar from my repository, which is basically just to get current user. Set the avatar as a file name and save it to the database. And now I'm gonna just upload this to S3 bucket. So I'm using AWS S3 here. And now I'm putting that in a transaction, so if the database fails, I don't want the upload to go on S3 bucket, everything should fail. And I'm just doing a rollback then and return the internal error, which is basically some kind of message that if the error happens to be here. And if it's everything right, I'm just gonna return avatar. Basically it's gonna be file name. But now there's one more thing I need to do here, and that is to sign this, because this avatar is going to be just a file name basically. I want to application always, when I acquire the avatar, to return the signed URL to the place the avatar is on the AWS. Then whenever it consumes, you can use AWS storefront to just basically get the avatar image. You will act as some of like some kind of CDN in this case, content delivery network. So how I'm gonna do that? I'm gonna utilize I think the doctrine. This is eloquent. Eloquent also has event listeners like doctrine. I just need to remember how they actually work, because I recently used doctrine. It's not Laravel's. Eloquent event listeners. Alright, equivalent. Okay, let me see it. Okay, the events, Laravel. Oh, they're just. Okay, they're just basic listeners. Okay, they need to have event. Let me see how that works. There has to be a way to do this natively with doctrine, right? With eloquent, right? Okay, let's do eloquent then directly. Let's do events. There is events. Okay. Okay, so there's events. How do I listen to those events? On which event is gonna be dispatched? And when? Updates, updated at. Oh, this is not event, it's just telling me that they won't be fired. Here we go. So I need to put in my models and to put which event is gonna dispatch and which event is gonna be used. Then I just create listener, I guess. Oh, there's also closures. Okay, then I'm just gonna create event listener to hang on these events, and that should be it, right? Do I need to register them? No, they're registered here, so they should be registered anywhere else. Ah, there's observers, right? I forgot those. They can observe everything that happens on the model. You add events, and I just use observe by observe in the class. This is basically probably the easiest way to implement them. But I'm not gonna do that because I'm gonna need actually I'm gonna need created event and no, just updated event basically. Let me just see the event. Retrieve it, that one. Created. Yeah, basically I'm gonna use that one too. Updated. Object is created. It's updated, saved. Basically, can I use saved? No, I'm not use saved. Let me just use retrieved for now. And I need to add dispatches, I need to create events. Is there anything special about this event, or is it just standard event? I think it should be standard event. Okay, let me just then try it. Okay, so I need to put up my containers first, of course. It's gonna be sail up, soul up. You better call soul. Alright, and I need to just do sail make event, sail artisan make event, and I'm calling this user event. I should use a saved event. It's that one. Let's call it like. Oh no, let's call it user created event, or just use one. No, let's just call it user created. Oh no, it's better user retrieved event. Because this is basically one I need, and I can also create listener for that event, right? Directly from the artisan. only that will be done automatically. To make event or make listener. So I need to do both, and then I need to specify event or make listener. Okay, event. Yeah, need to specify event to listener. Alright. So make event, then you have to make listener, and now event equals, and it needs to go in. No, it doesn't. I just need to put it like this, and that's it. And it needs to call that listener something. Let's just call it user listener. Can I subscribe multiple events to one listener? Can that be done with Laravel? Let me check the listener. Oh, this is registering events. But I think I'll need that with the locked-in events, right? Defining events and object okay, and defining listeners handle. No, every listener has his own event. I think there should be as subscribers. I think, or that's just with Symfony. Yeah, they are subscribers, so they can subscribe to multiple events, right? Let me check. Subscribe, event list, and login. Yeah, they have multiple events. Then maybe I should create user subscriber, not listener. Is there make subscriber or something like that? Same as for listener. I can try, and then I'll see. Okay, let's just have a subscriber then. Subscribe, and that's it. Class with subscriber, subscribe. Login class. Can do it like this then. Okay. I can also register it. There's no creating subscriber. Maybe there's a make subscriber. Let's just create subscriber then. Try make subscriber, and then I won't have event here. And I'm just gonna call it user subscriber. No, there's no make subscriber. Command, controller, middleware listener. Let's just make listening. I'm going to make listener. I'm going to reconfigure it to be subscriber. Call it subscriber. Alright. Now let's see. Events, there we go. This is my event. Now where are my listeners? Here we go. This is subscriber. Now let's configure this to be subscriber. Like this. So there's no anything that needs to be implemented. Just subscriber. That's very interesting. Each one has its own events. Okay, then I guess. Listeners, okay. Okay then, let's just make it this way then. So power function handle while signing. Call it like this, and I'll have here user retrieved event, and that should be it. And I need to describe subscribe here. I hope this will work. I'm not sure actually this will work with the built-in events. It could. I don't know. I would see. Subscribe. I need to get to an array. Add this dispatcher events. Okay, I need to get to an array. Class and okay. Let's do it this way. Actually, it's the same, so I can just do it this way. Okay. I'm going to inject dispatcher anyways. The list of events is gonna be user retrieved event on user retrieved. Now you just recall handle while signing, or maybe on user retrieved. No, only handle while signing. It's one that I need, and it's array, and this I think void should be void. Fine, and now here I can actually sign things. Now in the constructor I can use on any other class, so let's do that. Here is gonna be S3 S3. Now just define my event. In the constructor, I think I need to inject what goes on my event. I think let me just check this again. Yeah, I need to just pass. We're gonna pass in the constructor. Oh, there is going to be object, and then I'm passing. So this is gonna be user here. Okay, private. I think it needs to be public by default. User, and I'm just define my getter and setter. Public function get user. Alright. I don't think I'll need setter because it's gonna be injected to constructor, so I won't be using setters. And this broadcasted down can be deleted because I won't broadcast these events. Alright, now I have my user, and now I can just create my logic here. So user equals event to get user. If user to avatar identical to null. In other words, if user doesn't have avatar, then just do nothing, return. But if user do have avatar, then user.avatar equals this to s3 to signed URL, and it's gonna be user to avatar and TTL. Now I need to define this TTL for when I'm gonna define that. I think I'm gonna define that directly in the user model. Let's go to user model, and here I'm doing just this TTL. It's gonna be public constant. Avatar TTL, avatar signature TTL, and this is going to be needs to be AWS accept strings, and it's gonna be plus, and it's going to be, let's go 20 minutes. Yeah, that should be it. And I'm just gonna use this one here. User auto.ttl. That's it. And this is it basically. Now whenever my user is retrieved, I'm going to sign the avatar. I'm going to sign the avatar. And now I'm pretty sure that won't work when creating user. Let me just check. Pretty sure it won't, but I will just adjust the logic if it doesn't. When creating avatar directly. Okay, so that should be it from the logic. Now I'll just test this and see. Pretty sure something will fail, especially because I didn't use this doctrine eloquent events in a while. Let's check one more thing about subscribers. I apologize, I had a long day. Event subscribe. Yeah, I will do register. I will register the subscriber here. I'm gonna do this in the boot on my app service provider. Here, and input class. To suppose facades event is that one, and I'll have use subscriber. Okay, now I will register this event subscriber to my application. I will leave those, and didn't migrate. Yeah, I did migrate avatar. Now this should be it, and I forgot to push it on GitLab. I'll do this after GitHub after I finish this feature. Okay, now let's do upload. That's a new one. I'm using Postman for testing my APIs. Post, I think I call it user/avatar. Let me just check. Here we go. Apologies. Yeah, it's user/avatars. I don't need to copy paste this. This is users. Remember, it's a good practice when creating your API endpoints to always use your objects in plural. Same. Okay, this sounds out. It's okay because out just sounds ridiculous. But when you're naming the specific models, which usually routes will be, always use everything in plural, right? Because we use for multiple users, multiple posts, multiple comments, multiple everything. Same goes to databases. That's not in law. In PHP, it's always kind of standard to use plurals. It's not standard everywhere. I don't know. I use a lot of Django lately, then it's Lila. Depends on developers. But I think on Laravel there's a pretty good standards to use plurals for database names, for table names in databases. Just FYI, it's always good to use plurals for routes and for database tables. Okay, so yeah, so I use slash avatars. And now I don't have any avatar name, but I do have my boy Rimuru here. I think I have him somewhere in my downloads. I think. Yeah, here he is. That's web P. No, I could think it's this one. But that's not one-to-one. I need to resize this to be one-to-one, otherwise this won't work. I think he's not one-to-one. I can check properties. How do I do this in Windows 11? Here we go. Size. I don't think I'll find details. Oh, I will. With the height. Yeah, it's not one-on-one. I will need to resize this. Okay. Fortunately, there are plenty online image resizers that I can use, so let's just do that. First, of the user's avatars. I'll just find one-to-one picture sample, avatar sample. Online, that's even better than resizing. So headers. Now I will need to log in here. That's fine. And I will need to have here my token. Alright, I didn't handle that yet. But yeah, avatar is gonna be uploaded to authenticated user. Okay. Yeah, I didn't add one more thing when I was doing authentication. I forgot to add actual middleware that will handle tokens and logins. Well, okay, I'll do that now, I guess. Before I proceed with this. Let me just leave this without authorization for now. I'll just load the user directly for this to work, and after we test my avatars, I will load just middleware. Okay, so I will just do the usuals here. So let me content type. This is gonna be application JSON or JSON. I like saying just JSON. Application JSON. Actually, no, application JSON. Multi-platform data is gonna be. It's gonna be here because I'm gonna send the file. And accept is gonna be application JSON because it will expects the response to be JSON. You can send files from JSON. It's just better practice to send them with actual appropriate content types as a basically plain as a content strings that's gonna be encoded when this type of file is this type of the request is sent, and your application will then expect the file to be sent the request if you have this content type sent with the actual request. I will skip authorization now, and now multiple from data. I go here, and let me just check here. Apologies. This is 6efix different decoding. From data is this, and now I need to specify tested file. I'm just gonna specify file here, and let me just find some avatar example. And it's got pictures. There should be one-to-one, or it's most of them. Yeah, this is one-to-one. I know, let's just use this one. I don't think it's copyrighted or anything, so it should be fine here. Because it's just public avatars, like examples. This now doesn't have any copyrights. So this should be fine. Let's do like this, copy image address, paste and go. And I'm just gonna save that. It's PNG, great. Let's go call it avatar example. Okay, and let's just store it here in downloads, and now I'm just gonna select that file here. Okay, doing my downloads now, and here we go. And I'm not gonna yet upload it because it's a fail now. Why it will fail? I mean, it may fail even with this, but without this it will definitely fail. Because in my user repository, I use out user, and because I'm not sending any token, I won't have out user here because I didn't implement that feature yet. I can do two things here. I could implement it, or I will just load user here for beginning. I will say user equals this to find by email, and I'm just gonna put my email here manually. Just to have user for testing. It's gonna be this one. Oops, wrong one. Okay, here. Now basically I'm loading user and then some body avatar, which is fine. But I'm use this one because I don't have user yet. We just copy this down. By the way, if somebody has watched my last video, did you figure out why will this line after this line when I uncommented? If I don't put this while the PHP stand, will throw the error here. If you didn't, I'll tell you why. Because if I don't put this notation here, PHP stand won't know that this is actually user, because you will read the code. Now nowhere in the code is specified this is actually user, because out user returns I think it's out interface or something like that, not specific user. That interface doesn't have a property called avatar, and PHP stand will throw this exception here, and basically will tell you have error in your code. In fact, you don't have error in your code, but PHP stand don't know that without this annotation here. That's why I need to put this here. If you're using PHP stand in projects, for somebody who doesn't know, PHP stand it's the actual PHP library for let's say checking the mistakes in the code, or for I will call it bulletproof proofing your code. It can be really annoying, and I don't think they actually need that much of levels that they actually have at the moment. Basically, imposing the high level stand is ridiculous in my opinion. But fine, in the highest level, this won't work at all without this annotation. But okay, I just wanted to give you the result of my question. So because without this, PHP stand doesn't know this is the user. If, because from this call, you'll think it's a user, it's an out interface, so out user interface, so whatever interface is used in the Laravel, that interface doesn't have a property avatar, and this will fail. With annotation, now PHP stand will know this is the user, and this will pass. That's why it's basically this annotation is needed. Okay, but now I just use it like this. Now this is gonna be my user. I will send the avatar and I will save it. Okay, so I'm not gonna use out. I just can move you from here. I don't think you copyrighted, but hey, if you are, well, Twitch will be okay, I guess, but I will get banned from YouTube. Well, it's probably not. Okay, so let's just test it. I apologize, I have a call. turn on the microphone. Okay, I'm back. And let's just try to, I see this. Ah, okay, never mind. Apologies. Okay, let's just give it a shot. I expect this to fail at least somewhere. But let's try. Okay, I didn't call it avatar, of course. It failed at the beginning. That's great. This is interesting. Okay, why is it failed? This failed. Now let's just debug this real quickly. User request, and this one. I think I can just do the dimensions here and check what actually they will be. The wrong one. It's not one-to-one, but it says here it is one-to-one. Well, ain't that great. So it's 8 times 20, this should be width, and this is height. Let's add the delta here. So it doesn't need to be exactly one-to-one, okay? I mean, there are one-to-one images, avatars there has to be. But okay, let's be a little bit more flexible, I guess. So 1 to 0, this is height, this is width then. In this case is a little bit about 1. So height is, yeah, it's like 1.0 something. So let's just allow delta here. And what will be delta? Delta will be the value that's allowed to basically go from the ratio can basically go that interval from the middle. Let's say middle is the 1, and this can go like 0. I don't know how much you will allow. It's 0.05 on the left and the right. So the ratio can be higher or lower that amount, and it will still work. So have some flexibility in the validation. So I want this to pass. So let's just see how actually that is. Rather the start, so I can actually do this to be possible. So let me just quickly. I will just use calculator online so you can guys see. Use calculator. So let me see. I forgot to increase my screen size or percentage. Now it's basically high percentage. Okay, so 878 because through 820. It's 1.07. So I will allow 0.08 in both directions. So this should pass. So I will do this invalidation here. Usually it will be smart to do it somewhere else, but let's just do it here. So delta equals 0.08. And now I'll have my dimensions, width and height, and this is gonna be ratio. So ratio equals this, okay. And now if let me just check this ratio is smaller, so less, then 1 minus delta, or ratio is greater then 1 plus delta. So basically if it's smaller than 1 minus delta and greater than, basically if I decrease it for delta and the ratio is still smaller than that, is not good. If I increase it for delta and the ratio is still good, greater than that, is not good. So I have some basically deviations from the middle here, so allow some flexibility. And this now, then this will fail. Now we just check this delta. No, it's fine. This is just for validation, but basically I will when I add multiple images, but then I will add constant classes with rules. So this is fine for now. And now this should pass because this will be 1.0.07 something. So this should pass now. Let me just try this again. And now I'm gonna remove this DD. Oh, I removed DD. Okay, then I'm good. Oh, no, okay, now we have an error. Consult H project bucket Twitch North. So this is AWS error. So this one cannot be resolved. Let me just check that nothing was saved in a database, because this would be rollback now, and it wasn't. It's a rollback. Okay. And now let's see why you cannot resolve this. Let me just click this URL. Oh, no, this not here. Don't save. Let me just click this URL real quickly. I don't think anything will happen, but let's just check it. Yeah, of course nothing happened. Okay, so let me just see why this is failing. I need to check my configuration. Test project bucket VHS3. Color 6, couldn't resolve host, which makes perfect sense. Okay. I think everything's set up fine. Let me just a second. I need to check my environmental file for this, so I'll just need to comment this because it contains my secret key. Apologize, I had a pretty long day. Test project bucket Twitch, that should be fine. North alright, North 1. Okay, I'll try it now. I think that may work. If not, I'll try debug it late. More, okay, I'm back live. Let's give this another shot. Okay, now it worked. And this should be fine. Now our avatar should be uploaded. Oh, I probably shouldn't do this. Okay, now our avatar should be uploaded. But as expected, this isn't retrieved. Maybe if I do refresh, I'll just check. So my database, right, it's here. And I'm going to check now my AWS account. To check, is it here? Let's go this one. Sign in. Yeah, I'm gonna use my root user. This is my email, and I'm gonna use password, which is okay. I need to do 2FA. Just a second to open my authenticator on my phone. Where's my AWS? Here we go. 235 564. No? 234 234 564. And well, I made it. No, I want it expired. 365 502. Now this should work. No, I'm looking on the right code, just a second. Yeah, it's the right one. Maybe I have multiple AWSs. No, I don't. I have only one AWS. S. So let me check. Let me just check it to refresh, and I'll try this again. 867. No wait, password. Why asking password again? Alright, because you failed. Let me look at it. Now I need to put it again. 867 571. And now you passed. Okay. I could have some very light charges now, but that's nothing to be concerned about. And it's definitely nothing for you guys to be concerned about. Okay, so let me just check this one. And here's avatars, and here's my image. And this is just details for the image. This shouldn't work because the access denied. Why is denied? Because I remember I said last time my bucket is completely private, so no public access, even with object URL will work on this bucket. Okay, so let me just. This is kind of useful if you're doing something like F2P on AWS. This is the protocol for that. This has three protocols I use if you're streaming files to or from AWS. I did that in the past. Basically, streaming means you just sending and retrieving chunks of the file, not file in advance, but going doing it in chunks. That's what streaming is in the nutshell. Okay, so and for streaming from AWS, this is protocol that is used. Okay, so this is it. My file is here, and now there are more things that could be done here, but I won't be doing them because I will implement the general file upload and do them there. One is basically to, if now I do rip upload, you notice the two files will be uploaded on the AWS. The database will be okay, but it will be just one file saved. But the AWS will have two files. I won't handle that mistake. It's that mistake because it's basically we are aware of it. I know about it. So I won't handle it. I won't intentionally handle it now because I will change this uploading architecture, which is simple, with the more complex one that will handle multiple file uploads. Apologies for multiple objects, not just for users. So I will handle that a bit later. I will leave it without deleting for now. Apologies. Now let me just check if this subscribe is even hit. I mean, I can't check it because I didn't retrieve anything. Let me just add another one here. Alright, one more thing. I forgot to put it on my model. I didn't use dispatch events here, so the event wasn't dispatched at all. Protected. That's property. Let me just check. It should be property. Eloquent events. Here we go. Here we go. Here, no, not this one. Yeah, it's dispatches events. Always Laravel doesn't use this. In my, at least not in the documentation. Doesn't use. This should be array, but I won't be using it because Laravel doesn't use it. So. Okay, and this is function up there, so I'll be using this up. Before functions. Okay, it goes here, and now I will have it here retrieved, and you need to dispatch user retrieved event. This one, and I will add another one. Actually, I don't know. I'll just check it here and see if this be dispatched at all. I'm using created now. I'm not sure if it will save it, and I don't think it will be retrieving it if I don't refresh it. But let me just check something here in the listeners. skin the subscriber. I'm just gonna basically dd here just to see if this is dispatched. I'm gonna dd this user just to see if this is dispatched or not. It shouldn't be, but let's just check. And let's just do another one. Oh, it is. It actually is dispatched. Let me see fields. Avatar is here. Then why you didn't... Okay, if avatar is null, no, then use to avatar equals. This should work now. This let's just dd this to get signed URL to debug this part. This should work fine. And I just do this again. Yeah, it's here. Alright, I think I know why it's not working. Let's just do another dd here. I wanted to check something else here. Just to be 100% sure this is set, but it should be. dd user to avatar. It should be set here. Then I can continue debugging it on the way. Yeah, it is. Alright, so this is called, this is set. Now I think I know why it's not retrieved, but let me go my controller. Yes, no, it should be fine. This should be retrieved because I have repository, upload avatar, user to avatar. Alright, return the user. Now this is called, maybe I need to call refresh here. And then return user. Let me check. Yeah, need to call refresh. So user is basically, fields are repopulated with fresh data from database. Okay, now I have my avatar here, and now you notice if I click this, not here, I was forgetting to open this in Postman. Even Postman will work too, but signatures do not match. Check something quickly. This is content as here, that's fine. Credentials, request, sign header, expires. That's basically all the properties that I need, so this should match. Let me just go again. I'll try this again. Maybe I misspaced something. No, I won't. Let me just check your key and sign method. Okay, I need to check then. Blah blah. All right. Let me. All right. I know. No, hey, it shouldn't be that. Actually, let's just check something real quickly here. This part is very weird. Just check something quickly again. Subscriber. Let me just dd user to avatar here again. Real quick. Preview. Now this is fine. Wait, something's wrong here. This is wrong. There's a double quote here. There's a double slash. Because it's saved with a double slash into my database with a slash, I guess. No, it's not with slash, which means it has to be inside signed URL on my bucket in my S3 service. Let me just check this. Signature. Schema HTTPS slash host is this, and this is where it fails. So schema host, and there's double slashes here, which means this probably goes with slash inside after the host. Oh no, not the host, the path probably has a slash. So let me try this again. Now there's no doubles. Let me just go to this one. This should work. Okay, now I'll try this. Yeah, you can see the file is downloaded. And it should be the same file that I uploaded. Photos. Let's go just once. Yeah, it's a file that I uploaded. It's the same file, so it works. Now let me check without DD. So let's go. I did it on the listener. Here we go. Subscriber. Here. Just recheck now without that, and then I'll check the actual set if this still doesn't work. It doesn't, so let me just check by bucket is node.com/https test project bucket. Basically it sets domain 2 times and why. No, this is correct, so this should be fine. Why you assign it to the, because if I did this to avatar, this is just fine. But if I double, no, it still should be fine. Then why I'm having this here? My controller. Use it to avatar, yeah, that's fine. Why else? Is basically I have my domain here and slash, now again domain and entire URL is now. So basically let me see if this is something that's repeated. It's not. So this is just basically slap on the domain. Now why you slap this on the domain? I don't have anywhere something like this in the code. Let me see, avatar is this, avatar slash, when I get it here, it's possible this refresh is causing the issue, but without refresh it won't work. And now that's something I'm curious about actually, why it won't work without refresh. Now I have other way to do this, but I'm just curious now why it is doing this. This is double one. HTTPS, now this, and now this is URL encoded. As you can see here, this is not URL encoded. This is the URL encoded because everything is escaped. This is interesting. It has to be something here because there's no other way. It could be a problem. So here it has to be somewhere here. It's like it's signing the signed URL. I think I know what's the issue. I think the issue is this refresh. Because in that point it has in database already, it has the set URL and it going to sign it again. And that's the issue here. and which I can avoid that somewhere somehow in the listener itself, in the subscriber itself. Yeah, I can, only if it's null. No, no, I can't, because it's gonna be, no, I can't avoid it here. I need to be careful when I'm actually doing this. I can avoid it in subscriber itself, because if it's null, it's null. If something else, I cannot check what it is. I can only check if it begins with HTTPS. Okay, let's try this. If etc starts with HTTP or etc starts with our HTTPS, then also return. Don't do anything. Now this will solve the issue, because it's double called. I don't want this to be double called. I'll try to how to remove this refresh. Okay, now let's see, will this solve the issue? It did. Now I don't have any double signing anymore. Now this should work fine. I mean, I already checked that, I wouldn't have to check. Now this worked, but I need to remove this refresh. I don't want him to do double call. So I'm gonna remove this refresh here. I mean, it's fine. It's pretty fine. It's not double call anymore, because if you have already signed the URL here, I'll just skip this. There's no double calls, but this is double call now, because I have in double retrieve, and I'm not sure exactly why. I mean, I know why I have it. I'm not sure why it doesn't display it first time without a refresh. Okay, I'll just go back to my user repository quickly, and I'm gonna move this refresh. I have my user, I have avatar, and I have save. At this point, user should be saved to database, and obviously retrieve is also called. But some point, but obviously the user is not repopulated with the values from retrieve. I need to refresh for that, and that's why it's double called. Now I have just avatars, and I'm not gonna use a refresh. What I'm going to do is try the created event. Yeah, I just should call this user event, shouldn't I? User retrieved event is gonna be same user in created event in any events of user. So I just refactor. No, not like this. Like this, and just call this user event. User event, just like this. Okay. And now I'm just gonna go on my user, and same event is gonna be called retrieved and created. And this is not created actually, this is updated, so let's just go to updated. So same event is gonna be, and now on subscriber. Now okay, this actually could be listening now basically, because I will call the same method, which is not good. Just retake this. This is gonna be same method call for everything, which would fine for our purpose, because the only thing I will need to do is basically handle signing. I think if I'll have some different purposes for different events, then I'll create multiple events and call method on different events. Can I somehow? No, I can't, because I don't have any listeners or anything here. Yeah, this is actually gonna be fine then. Handle signed URL, and now this part same event. I could use listener here, but I already have subscribers, so I just leave subscriber in place. Now this should be called on the both on the update and on the retrieve. So now I think this should work without actual. Yeah, now it works without actual refresh. Okay, this is it. Now I have my user and I have my event listener. Now this event will automatically sign all unsigned URLs. So Every time I retrieve my user from database or update using database, I will get the valid URL to which can actually retrieve my image or my avatar from the AWS. Okay, so this is it, and this is basically done. Now with this, I said what's still missing here is actual deleting. So if I upload my avatar here and I do this s3 create, I should delete it before upload it here, because now if I go to my bucket, let's go back, see, I have lots of avatars here. The last one should be one in database. Let's check 50686. Actually, it's not the last one. Let me check when it's uploaded. For some reason, this one weren't. Let me just recheck this. I just delete everything. Now I could just go avatar back and just delete these avatars. Permitted delete. I need to basically write permitted delete here. I don't know why AWS make this complicated. KGP checkbox, but okay. Delete objects, and now I'm just gonna unset my avatar here. Set field to now. Now I don't have any avatars, and just re-upload. Send. Okay. And let me just check my bucket. I need to go. Yeah. Here we go. I have avatars, and this is 5222. And just refresh. Needs to be the same. And this. Okay, then probably some upload was skipped in some places because of the errors. And now this is it. I have database, I have this, and I have my avatar which you can access. And my basically, if the job here is done, I won't implement deletion of all avatar because I will change this logic with the logic that handles the general file uploads, which I will do probably tomorrow. I think I'm gonna finish this stream for today. Because I'm getting kinda tired. I may actually do some gaming stream after this. I'll see. But let's just do my basic layouts. How we gonna do file uploads in general. So as I mentioned last time, a requirement will be to have multiple uploads, so multiple different types of files, and I want to upload them all using the same endpoint. Just two different, what will differ will be indexes and objects that the files will be rated to. So I can do that. I will create the file object itself. So it's gonna be a new model. It won't be avatar and user anymore. It's gonna be the same. It's gonna be the new model. What time it is? Oh, it's already 11. I do have to go take something to eat now. Let me just do basic layouts for this. Now we'll have new model, and I will call this model file. So let me just go here and go sell artisan make model, and I'm going to this model file. Should I go to file? I think no, file is not reserved, and I'm going to also have migration here. Let me create migration for this too. Okay, so let's take that, and now migration is created, and the model is created too. I have a file which is model. I always use factory, use has factory, Even if it doesn't have it, I always use this. Okay, so it won't allow me to use it if I don't have class. I just create a factory class then. But I won't be needing factory. Okay, let's not. Let's just delete this and not use it. Okay. And I just did module, didn't I? Oh, yeah, I'm half asleep. Base the local history. Here we go. Show history. Deleting, and I'm going to revert this one. Now this should be fine. My file should be back. It is. But I'm gonna just remove this class factory, and this should be in CDEX database seeding. No, it's not. Where's the factories? Here they are. And I'm just gonna delete factory. I'm not gonna seed my files, so I'm just delete factory. So this show history is very neat way. Every JetBrains CD has this, and not just JetBrains, almost any modern ED has this local history. Very good if you basically accidentally delete not just one file. If you work, if you accidentally delete almost everything in your project, you can restore it from the local history. Very important, especially if you work on production files, so you accidentally delete something. I mean, you can always do git reset, but what if basically you lose everything into GitHub and on your local environment? Then you're basically Setzer, Ev, and rest of the latex. But with this local history, it's very easy to restore anything that you accidentally deleted, and it's, to me, it has been lifesaver in more than one occasion. And okay, so I have files. Now, here again, I'll just add some fields to my files, timestamps. Okay, in work, to table string. I will have name. This will be file name. I apologize. And this won't be nullable on anything. Now I'm having table. Just see what I'm gonna save. Except the file name, I will have string. This is gonna be, no, this is basically be the path. I will say this original name. When I'm gonna store the original name sent by the client. And now I'm gonna store size as well. It's gonna be integer. No, not that. Integer, and it's gonna be size. And yes, that's a good suggestion. I'm also gonna store my type of the file, and also gonna store type as well, because I'll have multiple types. I may not actually need this. It's gonna be nullable. I may actually not need this, but okay. And I'll have the morph field. Table timestamps, and they will be morphable. If you're not familiar with the morphs, I'll explain them just a second. Table to morphs, and it's gonna be called fileable. Yeah, okay. This will add two forms in my file table. Basically, it's called fileable ID, and fileable, I think, is gonna be class type or something. I'm not sure how actually Laravel gonna call that second one. I have to check it out. But what is morphs? You can read about morphs in Laravel documentation. Morphs is a nifty way of Laravel models, or Laravel eloquent in this case, to handle multiple relationships to the same field, or to the same table in this case. Because not field but table. If I have, let's say I have multiple, I have multiple, let's say file users. I have, let's say, user that has avatar files. For example, I have avatars. I have a post that have some images, and basically I want them both to point to the same table, right? How am I gonna do that? If I don't use morphs, I will have to do multiple IDs. So I will have user ID in the files table, I will have posted in the files table, and then each file will have only one user and only one post, but each post or user can have multiple files. So I need to have two IDs in my table. If I add another one, for example, I later add some kind of, let's say I have cooking application, I need recipe, and recipe has images. And now to add images to recipe, I would need to add another ID to my files, the recipe ID, and I need to make connections to that ID field. This is from the relational database standpoint, this is perfectly fine. This is how it works. But Laravel has some nifty feature called morphing. When I can just add one field, this could be fileable ID, and I will have another one, be something like this table. It's gonna be string field. It's gonna be auto created by Laravel, but it's gonna be something called fileable type or something like that. I'm not sure how Laravel should call it. And this, if the model is user, then ID is gonna be ID of that user, and fileable type is gonna be slash model slash user slash model slash user, for example, something like that. It will be class string. If it's post, then also fileable will be posted. In this case, it will be same field, but second field's fileable type is gonna be slash model slash posts. And if it's my say recipe, is gonna be recipe ID here, and it's gonna be fileable type, gonna be slash model slash recipe, right? So it's just two fields to handle multiple file usages or multiple model relationships. So that's morphs in the nutshell in the Laravel, and they are very useful because you have to create multiple relationships, and it's more useful in the database level. It's useful because you save few fields in database, but on the code level, it's even more useful because if you want to, for example, on my cookbook, on my file class, if I have a reverse relation, when I want to for each file retrieve the cookbook, the user, or the post that belongs to, I will have to create three separate methods to do that. But it morph is just one single method that will work. It will be like file to morph, and then I will get whatever object is there that's morphed for that specific file. Because it will read it from these two fields. It will know this is a post, and it will automatically know which ID belongs to the post because of the ID field. Because this fileable will create two fields. It will create this one, and it will create second one will be fileable ID, and this will be integer. Actually, it's gonna be big integer, like this. So these are two fields that this morph will create. It will create these fields in the table. Not sure if this is called type. I think it's type, but I will create them. And this is super useful. Now on my model, when I go to my model, I need just create one single field here, single relational field here. Just go to my file model. Okay, I need to create everything else, but you'll have public, not table, it will be files by default, public function fileable. I think it's gonna be called fileable. It will be called fileable, and I'm gonna return this to morph 2, and this I think it's not morph, it's just morph. Not 100% sure actually. There's no morph, so it's more has to morph 2. Okay, that's it basically. So just one field on my file model, and that's all that I need here. Right? Let's check show you this is the correct one. Let me just check something in my head very quickly. Okay, so files, fileable. Yes, I can call whatever I want, and I can call this one. Okay, yeah, it will be morph. Okay, so this is just basically it. So and it's just single basic method on my file, and with this one with this basically migration, and this field morphs fileable, it will work. And that's it. I'll finish stream for today, but I will continue this later tomorrow. So I've set my layout here for my basically file table, and I'll add this morph to the file. Just return morph to here is going to this. So this is going to be fileable. I just add IDs, and now on my user, I just need to add avatars. So it's going to be relation, but I will add this a little bit differently. User, and this is gonna be called here public function, protected function. So let's go here, public function avatars. I will actually call it files, but okay, for now I just go to avatars and return this to morph many. Here, morph many, and I will let the class to be file. Just check what actually takes to morph many here. Fileable type, fileable ID, if fileable ID. Now I just need to type, I don't need fileable type, fileable ID, so it is fine. It's named fileable on the class, and now on the file class I have this fileable, which is morph2, and that's it. Now this relation relates basically to all the avatars here. This is morph many as a return. So you will have many avatars. All avatars will have basically files will be just have one owner. Avatar has one owner. So this is one-to-many relationship. Okay, so this is it. This is how this will work. And now I just need to create yesterday logic for multiple uploads from the same place. Now I'll have this. Basically, it's not user anymore. I will just put here in the no specific subdirectory a new class. So this to be file upload controller. And this will handle all file uploads from one controller, extends controller, and I will also need some constant here. There basically will be some file constraints. We need some file type because I need to set which file type, which is file owner. So I need to have file owner and file types here that will need to return it, because from this I will need to control which repository is basically returned and which file, which model is set to the fileable when it's saved to database. So I will have fileable and it will set fileable models. I need to put interface here. Anyways, it's lots of talk now. I will just do it in the next stream so you'll actually see how everything works. But yeah, this is kind of basic ingredients. I need to one or two constant classes, repository for my files, and way to set anything up with some interfaces. And this is basic work. This is going to be usable for any file type on any fileable object. So it can be post, user, whatever images. I will even have multiple validations. This validation no longer will be in the user request. I will have something called file request, let's call it that way, and this validation will go there. Based on the type of the file, these rules with file mem types, max size, and this ratio, if will I even add the ratio check, will be different. Okay, so this is gonna be read from one constant class. You can think these constant classes as enums. I'll use enums for different purposes. For this kind of stuff, I like to use constant classes. But okay, you'll be able to see everything from there. Okay, I will see everything when I implement it. I won't do it now because, to be honest, I'm too tired to do this now. I'll do some gaming now. Maybe streaming. If you see me stream after this, it will be game stream. And after that, I'm definitely going to hit a sec because I'm getting too tired at the moment. I kind of want to do this now, but I don't know, if I start, I will basically stumble. Maybe I'll be slower than usual, and if I run into some huge error, I will be too tired to debug it. So I will just stop here. So this is a lesson to you guys. I mean lesson, my suggestion, not lesson. You don't have to listen to me if you don't want at all. It's just suggestion for you guys. Don't do complicated stuff late at night, right? You may be high on adrenaline, high on coffee like me now. I think I can do this now, but you will be too tired if you run into some serious issue. And if you run into that issue, if you're too tired to solve it, you won't be able to sleep because you didn't solve the issue. So my advice is don't start complicated stuff late at night. Just wait for the next day. I mean, this is terribly complicated, but I did this before, so I'll be able to, if I even like become too sleepy, I'll probably be able to run on the memory, on the things I know from before. But yeah, I won't do that now because this will qualify as a little bit complicated stuff, more complicated stuff to implement, and I will do that tomorrow when I'm fresh. But tomorrow I'll probably be tired again because I will have full day of work. uh, things, chances are we'll postpone this to the weekend, but I don't know. I'll maybe do it tomorrow. I'll do it fresh when I start stream, so maybe I won't be that tired. Okay, sorry, but this is a little bit shorter one. We did implement avatar and test our avatar uploads, and were able to upload the avatar to AWS. And I just noticed I implemented multiple files, and I'm no longer on the free tier, so this is going to be charged to my credit card, but it's fine. Like I said, the S3 bucket on AWS is super cheap, so it should be that much of the amount charged on my credit card. If you guys want to try this, you can just create an account with the free tier and you will charge anything. I could do that, but if I do that, I will have to delete this one because I don't want to have my credit cards assigned to two different AWS accounts. That would be like potential financial suicide. I don't want to do that. Uh, I don't want to have my credit cards assigned without reason to anything. This will be without reason. So without good reasons, I'm just using one with basically that I have, and my expenses should be very low here, so I should be good. Anyways, you can do it with free tier. You create your account, you get 6 months of the free trial, I guess, for almost all the services, and you will get 200 bucks of the well gift from the AWS to you to use it during this free 6 months free period for services that are maybe paid, not free tier. Okay, and that's it. As always, thank you for coming, and who will be watching this video later, thank you for watching the video. And again, if it's day where you are, have a good one. If it's night, good night, sweet dreams, and see you in the next one. Bye.